way of making even the worst of times into something pretty great. These words from Twilight Sparkle are, I'd say, pretty perfect, because all of my friends have had a time when I was sad and they just cheered me up and they turned a terrible time into a great one. So imagine if each one of you had 40,000 or more of those friends. Each one of these people also share a common interest with you. These people would be bronies, the fans of My Little Pony. So today I'm here to discuss who can be a brony, why people are bronies, and why the community is special. So first I'm going to talk about who can be a brony. Well, anybody at all could be a brony. Males and females of all ages are bronies. And it doesn't matter if they like cartoons or they like live action movies and stuff. They all like it. But people who watched cartoons from the late 90s, like the Powerpuff Girls or Johnny Bravo, they told me that they get the same feeling they had back then as they do now. And actually, the most common thing is friends watching My Little Pony. Friends watching a show about friends would be, pretty obvious to me. So, now that you know who watches My Little Pony, I want you to know why. Every single person who watches this show gets asked this question, so I feel like it needs to be explained. The first thing, every single person I interviewed answered the same. Don't pop up like that. Okay. Every single person I interviewed answered the exact same thing. The first thing they all said was that the animation is very smooth and beautiful. That it's not made to look funny, and it's not made to look like somebody just threw it together. You can tell that the artist spent time working on this. Another thing is, along with the great animation, there's an amazing story. Unlike most shows, this show is 22 minutes in length, with commercials for the other 8 minutes. So that has a full time to develop a story to its crowd. And these stories aren't dumbed down for little kids to be able to understand. Anybody at all can get enjoyment from these shows. And actually, another thing that people like is the happiness that they get when they're watching friends learn about friendship and the magic of friendship, which is kind of corny, but it makes sense to me. And the last thing is actually the community. People like how the community comes together and talks about the show and just can have a good time together. So here I have a little video for you so you can see some of the animation. And it is a song from the season finale of Season 2. And I hope you can understand a little bit of the story since it tells basically the whole story of the episode. Put the speakers on.
This day is going to be perfect, the kind of day of which I dreamed since I was small. Every pony will gather round, see I look lovely in my gown. What they don't know is that I have fooled them all. This day was going to be perfect, the kind of day of which I dreamed since I was small. But instead of having cake with all my friends to celebrate my wedding bells, they may not ring for me at all. I could care less about the dress, I won't partake in any cake. Vows, well, I'll be lying when I say that through any kind of weather, I want us to be together. The truth is I don't care for him at all. No, I do not love the groom in my heart. There is no room, but I still want him to be all mine. Must escape before it's too late. Find a way to save the day. Hope I'll be lying if I say I don't fear that I may lose him to one who wants to use him, not care for love and cherish him each day. For I also love the groom, all my thoughts he does consume. Oh, shining armor, I'll be there very soon. has arrived for me to be one lucky bride. All the way we will make a land of nothing shining on will be mine, all mine.
So as you can probably tell, there's a crazy pony and one that's trapped in caves. And the crazy one's trying to marry her husband, and there's a lot more story in those two episodes than I have seen in almost any other cartoon. So I felt like that would help me explain the story to you guys and why people think it's superior than other cartoons. So my final thing to talk about is what makes this community so special that we give ourselves a fancy little name. Well, the first thing I want to talk about is charity. The picture I have up there is the Humble Brony Bundle, and they are a website who does a ton of charities that go to a ton of different places. Right now, they are currently doing a charity to help preserve animal habitats. And I felt like that was a really great way to bring the community together to raise money for an important cause. And another thing is just friends. Everybody who's in the community is friends, and they come together as one great big family. If I ever have a problem, I can just go to them and they'll help me. No matter what, they're always there for me. So that's a pretty great part for me. And last thing is the user-generated content, like the picture I have up there of Mass Effect 3 ponies. It's either directly from the show and it's made into a meme, or it's artwork, music, anything that people think to make from this show. They make it and they just have a fun time making it. So I felt that the user-generated content was a very important part of the community. So I hope now you guys know more about bronies. And the next time you hear somebody say that they like My Little Pony, you won't just instantly think that there's something screwed up with their head or something, and that they should probably stop watching the show. Because anybody at all could be a brony, and the animation and story is great, so they actually have a reason to like the show. And the community is just very special. I mean, I'm a brony, and you don't see me in a mental hospital. So thank you guys for listening, and I hope you learned something today.